Good morning, Naaman Forest.
And welcome to this edition of Naaman News.
I'm Marcus Russell.
And I'm Cindy Rojas.
First up, we got a video for
Black History Month.
Hello, Naaman. This is Kaylin again with Black History Month, again with Coach Morgan and Mr. Hampton. So let's get started. First question is there still racism in America? And if so, where is it?
Yes, I definitely believe there's still racism in America. Whether we, people choose to acknowledge it, I definitely believe there's racism in America. Where I think it's all over. But I would say it's how you deal with it. One, you have to accept all people. I believe that you have to accept all people, and if once you accept all people and you value all people's opinions and the way of living, I think that would definitely make this country a better place.
Yes, racism still exists. I mean, people have to take this for what it is. United States of America, just historically speaking, going back to 160 years ago, slavery times, where slave was based on race. It was based purely on race. If you're African American, you could be considered a slave. Slavery existed long before the United States of America, but it didn't exist in that sense. Slaves used to be taken by ways of war, so captured as POWs, whatnot. I could take you and make you my slave, different things like that. But when it was created in the Americas, it was purely based on race. So, I mean, we think that's a long time ago, but it's actually not. So, it's been passed down, through the descendants of people who may have been slave owners and whatnot. And another thing that racism comes from is just ignorance. If people don't want to take the time to get to know people, so I'm just going to look at a group of people and I'm just going to cast a prejudice upon them or a stereotype upon them because I think that because I have had an encounter with a particular person of a particular race, I'm going to cast that shadow over the entire race. And that's not right. But the problem in the United States is it's not necessarily a problem. It's actually a good thing, but this is a melting pot. We have a lot of different races in this country. We have a lot of different religions in this country. And it's allowed. It's a part of the Constitution. It's in the amendments that people can practice whatever religion they want. So when you live in a country where people can practice whatever religion they want, we're going to have a lot of conflict over those types of things. A lot of people come here from different countries and different backgrounds from all over the world. Again, a big melting pot of people with different religions, different races, different beliefs, different languages, all those things. And if you don't want to take the time to get to know people, it's just much easier and a lot lazier to just classify them as a particular, in a particular way because of their race. Unfortunately, racism will probably always exist in the United States as long as people don't want to take the time to do that.
Okay, so final question is racism systematic and institutionalized today?
I believe it is. And I know not everyone will agree with me, but I definitely believe racism is systematic. I just personally believe that too many events have happened to a certain group of people, and I'm talking about African Americans. So I mean, just from the mere fact that there are more prisons being built in this country than public schools, that let me know that systematic racism does exist. So I definitely believe that it exists.
Well,
it goes on.
Yeah, it's you just got to read the history books and try to find your own truth and your own knowledge. There are systems set in place that emphasize certain things on certain groups of people, including African Americans, that make it very difficult, for example, for an African American male to succeed in this country. Because again, a lot of the people in power in some places, in some situations, feel that we can't do it. And what Coach Morgan was referring to as far as prisons being built at such a rapid pace, I mean, they build prisons based on third grade reading levels. So again, it's generational. That's really what it is, generational. If my parents didn't get the best quality education or maybe didn't go to college, or in some cases didn't finish high school, what's the chances that I'm going to be super educated by the time I'm in third grade? You know, if I can only hear certain limited vocabulary words and whatnot in my house, when I show up to school in kindergarten, I don't have an expanded vocabulary. Unlike some kids who have been on vacation to Germany, vacation to Hawaii, places like California, their parents both graduated from college with, some cases, advanced degrees. You know, it's very tough. So it's generational. So the thing that's most systematic about it is that we have to break the cycle, is what it is. We have to learn how to raise our young men to break that cycle by getting an education. And it starts out very, very young, even though the system is designed. Again, remember, third grade reading levels. And we're going to build prisons based on that, because chances are if you can't read by the time you're in third grade, you end up in prison.
You can also, just, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mr. Hampton, but you can also look at the population that's in those prisons. You look at the population, look at the demographics there, and you can see it is systematic.
Okay. Well, that's it for today's Black History Month program. We'll see you guys later.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and thank you for your very honest opinions.
That is all we have for you guys.
I'm Marcus Russell.
And I'm Cindy Rojas.
We'll see you guys next time.